Welcome to our exploration of 6 esoteric secrets to alter the universe. Have you ever felt there's more to reality than meets the eye? Do you wonder if there are hidden forces at work shaping our world in ways we can't see? Today, we're going to dive deep into some fascinating concepts that might just change how you view the universe and your place in it. Let's start with a question that's puzzled philosophers, scientists, and spiritual seekers for centuries. How much control do we really have over our lives and the world around us? Many of us feel like we're at the mercy of circumstances, helpless in the face of a vast and indifferent universe. But what if that wasn't the whole story? What if we had more power than we realize to shape our reality? This video will introduce you to 6 esoteric secrets that challenge our conventional understanding of the universe. These aren't quick fixes or magic bullets, but rather profound concepts that, when understood and applied, can lead to significant shifts in how we experience life. Our first secret delves into the power of thought. It's often said that thoughts become things, but what does that really mean? At its core, this concept suggests that our thoughts are not just passive reflections of reality, but active forces that help create it. Think about it. Every invention, every work of art, every major achievement in human history started as a thought in someone's mind. But the power of thought goes beyond just inspiring action. According to some esoteric traditions, thoughts themselves are a form of energy. Just as we can't see radio waves but know they exist because of their effects, the energy of our thoughts might be influencing the world in ways we can't directly observe. This doesn't mean that simply thinking about something will make it magically appear. Rather, it suggests that our habitual thought patterns create a kind of energetic blueprint that influences the opportunities and experiences we attract. So how can we harness this power? It starts with becoming more aware of our thoughts. Many of us go through life on autopilot, barely noticing the constant chatter in our minds. By paying attention to our thoughts, we can start to see patterns. Are we constantly focusing on what could go wrong? Are we replaying past failures over and over, or are we envisioning positive outcomes and possibilities? Once we're aware of our thought patterns, we can begin to shape them intentionally. This doesn't mean forcing ourselves to think positive thoughts all the time. That's not realistic or even desirable. Instead, it's about cultivating a balanced, constructive mindset. When negative thoughts arise, we can acknowledge them without getting caught up in them. We can choose to focus on solutions rather than problems, on growth rather than limitations. This practice takes time and patience. Our minds have often been running on the same tracks for years or even decades. Changing those patterns is like redirecting a river. It doesn't happen overnight. But with consistent effort, we can start to shift our mental landscape. As our thoughts change, we might notice subtle shifts in our experiences. We might find ourselves noticing opportunities we would have missed before, or approaching challenges with a new sense of capability. It's important to note that the power of thought isn't about denying reality or ignoring real problems. It's about recognizing that our perception shapes our experience and that by consciously directing our thoughts, we can open ourselves up to new possibilities. Moving on to our second secret, we encounter the concept of vibration and frequency. This idea might sound like it belongs more in a physics classroom than in a discussion of esoteric knowledge, but it's actually a fundamental principle in many spiritual traditions. The basic premise is this: everything in the universe is in constant motion. Even things that appear solid are made up of atoms vibrating at incredible speeds. These vibrations create energy frequencies, and these frequencies interact with each other in complex ways. But what does this have to do with altering the universe? Well, according to this principle, we're not just passive observers of these vibrations, we're active participants. Our thoughts, emotions, and actions all create their own vibrational frequencies. And just like tuning a radio to pick up different stations, we can tune ourselves to different frequencies of experience. Think about how you feel when you're in a room full of angry people compared to a room full of joyful people. Even if no one says anything, you can feel the difference in the energy. That's because you're picking up on the vibrational frequencies created by their emotional states. The idea is that by consciously raising our own vibration, we can attract experiences and circumstances that match that higher frequency. But what does it mean to raise our vibration? It's not about forcing ourselves to be happy all the time or ignoring difficult emotions. Instead, it's about cultivating states of being that feel expansive and life-affirming. This might involve practices like gratitude, where we regularly focus on things we appreciate in our lives. It could mean engaging in activities that bring us joy or a sense of purpose. It might involve spending time in nature, creating art, or connecting deeply with others. The specific activities aren't as important as how they make us feel. The goal is to generate genuine positive emotions and a sense of connection to something larger than ourselves. Another aspect of working with vibration involves becoming more aware of the energies we're exposed to. This includes the media we consume, the people we spend time with, and the environments we inhabit. Just as we're careful about what we eat to nourish our physical bodies, we can be mindful of what we're feeding our energetic selves. This doesn't mean cutting ourselves off from the world or avoiding all negative information. It's about finding a balance and being intentional about where we direct our attention. Maybe we choose to start our day with an inspiring book or podcast rather than immediately checking the news. Perhaps we set boundaries with people who consistently drain our energy. Small shifts like these can have a big impact on our overall vibrational state. It's also worth noting that raising our vibration isn't just about personal benefit. According to this principle, as we raise our own frequency, we positively impact the people and environment around us. It's like dropping a pebble in a pond. The ripples spread outward, affecting more than we might realize. Our third secret introduces us to the law of correspondence, often summarized by the phrase, "as above, so below." This ancient principle suggests that patterns repeat themselves throughout the universe, from the largest cosmic scales down to the tiniest subatomic particles. What does this mean in practical terms? It suggests that by understanding the patterns in one area of life, we can gain insights into seemingly unrelated areas. It invites us to look for connections and similarities where we might not expect them. For example, we might observe how a plant grows from a tiny seed into a full-grown organism. This process involves periods of rapid growth, followed by periods of apparent dormancy. By reflecting on this pattern, we might gain insights into our own personal growth. Perhaps we're in a period that feels stagnant, but understanding the natural cycles of growth can help us trust that this is just a phase of integration before the next burst of development. The law of correspondence also suggests a deep interconnectedness between all things. It challenges the idea that we're separate from the world around us or from each other. Instead, it proposes that we're all part of a larger whole, each reflecting aspects of the universal patterns in our own unique ways. This principle can be a powerful tool for problem solving and gaining new perspectives. When we're stuck on an issue, we can look to other areas of life or nature for similar patterns. We might find unexpected solutions by drawing parallels between seemingly unrelated phenomena. The law of correspondence also has implications for how we view our place in the universe. If we accept that the same patterns repeat at all levels, then our individual lives are not insignificant. Our personal growth and evolution contribute to the evolution of the whole. This can give a sense of meaning and purpose to our efforts at self-improvement. However, it's important to approach this principle with discernment. Not every similarity is meaningful, and forcing connections where they don't exist can lead to faulty conclusions. The law of correspondence is best used as a tool for inspiration and gaining new perspectives, not as a rigid system of interpretation. Our fourth secret brings us to the concept of energy centers in the body. Many esoteric traditions describe a system of energy points or vortexes within the human body. In yoga and some other Eastern practices, these are known as chakras. Other traditions have different names and slightly different models, but the core idea is similar. There are focal points in the body where energy is concentrated and distributed. According to these traditions, when these energy centers are balanced and flowing freely, we experience health, vitality, and a sense of well-being. When they're blocked or out of balance, we might experience physical, emotional, or spiritual difficulties. Each energy center is associated with different aspects of our being. For example, one might be linked to our sense of security and survival instincts, while another relates to our ability to communicate clearly. By working with these energy centers, we can potentially influence various aspects of our lives. But how do we work with something we can't see or touch? There are various methods depending on the specific tradition. Some involve visualization exercises, imagining energy flowing through these points in the body. Others use physical practices like specific yoga poses or breathing techniques. Sound is also often used, with certain tones or chants believed to resonate with different energy centers. One simple way to start exploring this concept is through a body scan meditation. This involves lying down comfortably and slowly bringing your attention to different parts of your body, starting from your feet and moving up to the top of your head. As you focus on each area, notice any sensations, tensions, or feelings of energy. This practice can help increase your awareness of the subtle energies in your body. Another approach involves considering the qualities associated with each energy center and reflecting on how they manifest in your life. For example, if you're working with the energy center related to communication, you might reflect on how clearly you express yourself, how well you listen to others, and whether you feel confident speaking your truth. By bringing awareness to these areas, you can start to identify imbalances and consider ways to address them. It's important to note that working with energy centers isn't a substitute for medical care or professional mental health support. It's a complementary practice that can support overall well-being when used responsibly. As with any esoteric practice, it's wise to approach it with an open mind, but also a healthy skepticism. Pay attention to how these practices make you feel and adjust accordingly. Our fifth secret delves into the art of visualization. This is a technique used in many fields, from sports psychology to creative arts, but in esoteric traditions, it takes on an additional dimension. The basic idea is that by creating vivid mental images, we can influence our reality. At its simplest, visualization is a powerful tool for clarifying our goals and motivating ourselves to achieve them. When we create a detailed mental picture of what we want to accomplish, it becomes more real to us. We're more likely to notice opportunities related to that goal and feel motivated to take action towards it. But in esoteric teachings, visualization is seen as more than just a psychological tool. It's viewed as a way of communicating our intentions to the universe. The idea is that by holding a clear image in our mind, we're creating an energetic template that can help manifest that reality. How does this work in practice? The key is to engage as many senses as possible in your visualization. Don't just see your desired outcome. Imagine how it would feel, what sounds would be associated with it, even what smells or tastes might be involved. The more vivid and multisensory your visualization, the more powerful it can be. It's also important to infuse your visualization with emotion. Feel the joy, excitement, or sense of accomplishment you would experience if your visualization were reality. This emotional component is believed to add energy to your visualization, making it more impactful. Consistency is another crucial factor. A single visualization session can be powerful, but regular practice over time is where the real potential lies. Some people find it helpful to set aside specific times each day for visualization practice, while others prefer to incorporate it into their daily activities, visualizing briefly whenever they have a spare moment. One common misconception about visualization is that it's about passively waiting for your desires to manifest. In reality, effective visualization often leads to inspired action. As you regularly visualize your goals, you might find yourself coming up with new ideas or feeling motivated to take steps towards your vision. It's also worth noting that visualization can be used for more than just achieving specific goals. It can be a tool for personal growth, helping you embody qualities you want to develop. For example, you might visualize yourself responding calmly and compassionately in situations that usually trigger stress or anger. As with any powerful tool, visualization should be used responsibly. It's important to consider the wider implications of what you're visualizing and ensure that your goals are ethical and don't infringe on the well-being of others. Some practitioners also emphasize the importance of remaining detached from the outcome, trusting in the process while being open to results that might look different from what you initially imagined. Our sixth and final secret explores the power of symbols. Throughout human history, symbols have been used to represent complex ideas, evoke emotions, and even as tools for altering consciousness. In esoteric traditions, symbols are seen as more than just visual shorthand. They're viewed as gateways to deeper levels of reality. The basic idea is that certain shapes, images, or designs can resonate with universal energies or archetypes. By working with these symbols, we can potentially tap into these energies and bring them into our lives. This might sound abstract, but we can see the power of symbols in everyday life. Think about how a national flag can evoke strong emotions, or how corporate logos can instantly communicate complex brand identities. In esoteric practice, symbols might be used in meditation, incorporated into artwork or jewelry, or used in ritual practices. The specific symbols used can vary widely depending on the tradition. Some might work with ancient religious symbols, while others use geometric shapes or nature-inspired designs. One way to start exploring the power of symbols is to pay attention to which shapes or images you're naturally drawn to. Do you find yourself doodling certain patterns? Are there symbols that consistently catch your eye or evoke a strong response? This natural attraction might be a clue to which symbols resonate with you personally. You can also research the traditional meanings associated with different symbols and see which ones align with qualities or energies you'd like to cultivate in your life. For example, if you're seeking more balance, you might be drawn to symbols representing harmony or equilibrium. Once you've identified symbols that resonate with you, there are various ways to work with them. You might meditate on the symbol, visualizing it in detail and reflecting on its meaning. Some people create artwork featuring meaningful symbols or wear jewelry that incorporates them. Others might create a personal symbol or sigil to represent a specific intention or goal. It's important to approach symbol work with respect and mindfulness. In many cultures, certain symbols have deep spiritual or cultural significance. It's wise to research the background of any symbols you're drawn to and use them in a way that's respectful of their origins. As we've explored these 6 esoteric secrets, you might have noticed some common themes. Many of these concepts emphasize the power of our inner world, our thoughts, feelings, and intentions to influence our outer reality. They suggest that we're not passive observers of the universe, but active participants in its unfolding. Another recurring idea is the interconnectedness of all things. Whether we're talking about vibrations, correspondences, or energy centers, these concepts paint a picture of a universe where everything is linked in complex and often unseen ways. This perspective can foster a sense of responsibility for our actions and their ripple effects, as well as a deeper appreciation for the world around us. It's also worth noting that while these ideas are often labeled as esoteric or secret, many of them have parallels in modern scientific understanding. The idea of everything being in constant vibration aligns with quantum physics. The concept of interconnectedness echoes findings in ecology and systems theory. While the esoteric and scientific approaches use different language and frameworks, they often point to similar underlying principles. As we conclude, it's important to remember that these concepts are tools for exploration, not rigid dogmas. The true power of these ideas lies not in accepting them blindly, but in experimenting with them in your own life. Notice what resonates with you and what doesn't. Pay attention to how applying these concepts affects your experiences and perceptions. It's also crucial to maintain a balanced approach. While exploring these esoteric concepts can be exciting and potentially transformative, it shouldn't come at the expense of practical action and responsibility in your everyday life. These ideas work best when integrated thoughtfully into a well-rounded approach to living. Remember, too, that personal growth and understanding often come in cycles. You might find that some of these concepts resonate strongly at certain times in your life and less so at others. That's perfectly normal. The key is to remain open and curious, always willing to learn and evolve your understanding. As you move forward from this video, consider how you might apply some of these ideas in your daily life. Perhaps you'll start paying more attention to your thoughts and how they might be shaping your experiences. Maybe you'll experiment with visualization or explore working with symbols that resonate with you. You might find yourself more attuned to the subtle energies in and around you, or looking for correspondences between different aspects of your life. Whatever path you choose, approach it with a spirit of open-minded inquiry. Be willing to question your assumptions, including the ideas presented in this video. The universe is vast and complex, and our understanding is always evolving. By staying curious and open to new perspectives, we open ourselves to continuous growth and discovery. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of 6 esoteric secrets to alter the universe. Remember, the greatest mystery to explore is your own consciousness and its relationship to the world around you. Every moment offers an opportunity for new insights and deeper understanding. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep growing.